Alright, in this video we're going to discuss VMC takeoffs and VMC approaches. So, first thing we do is we want to start with our perf page. We're going to go to the perf page. We already know that we're going to hover at 83%, that's fine, but we want to take a look at our VSSE, which is 35. The type of takeoff that we're going to do here is going to be called a level acceleration takeoff. And the purpose of the level acceleration takeoff is to keep us outside of the height of void region for the aircraft. And what the height of void region describes is a set of airspeed and altitude combinations where if you are within that window and you lose an engine, you do not have engine power, airspeed, or altitude available to recover the helicopter, right? Meaning you lose an engine and you're inside that region, you are committed to a forced landing with damage to the helicopter because the helicopter just doesn't have anything to give you to get out of the situation, okay? So what that profile looks like is we're going to pick the aircraft up to a 5-foot hover, and we are going to maintain 5 feet until we are through VSSE. Once we're through VSSE, then we can adjust for a normal climb, and that'll ensure that we remain outside of that region, okay? And then we'll talk through the VMC approach when we get there. So I'm going to start by pressing and holding the force trim interrupted in the transition symbology. And I'm going to start increasing the collective, left pedal. As the aircraft starts to come off the ground, I'm going to start applying a bit of forward cyclic here. There we go, 5 feet. A little bit more power just to maintain my altitude. We are through VSSE. Now I'm going to adjust for a 90 knot attitude, which is wings level. And as I do so, I'm also going to reduce the collective and adjust for that 500 foot per minute rate of climb. Force trim is still interrupted. Now I'm going to release the force trim. Apply a little bit more pedal trim. There we go. Every time I say trim, I'm actually pushing the force trim switch, just so you're aware. Alright, so there we go. We're 70 knots, 500 foot per minute. We're climbing. We're in aerodynamic trim. I need to come a little bit more to the left just because the wind is kind of blowing us a little bit here. There we go. Still climbing on up. Trim. Trim. Clear to the left. Coming on around. Still climbing up. And in the turn, a little bit of pedal to keep the aircraft in aerodynamic trim a little bit better. We're at 90 knots, and we'll go ahead and level off here at about 470 feet. That's fine. Coming on around. Oh, a little bit fast. Adjusting, reducing the collective. Alright, there we go. We are still a little fast adjusting. And a little bit of cyclic trim, a little bit of right pedal trim, there we go. Alright, now that we are on the downwind here, we'll do our before landing check. So the weapons are, aircraft is safe, the ground override is off, nothing is actioned in the high action display. So when I'm talking about high action display, where that P-gun message is flashing, I'm just making sure that there's nothing there. ACE is currently off, tail wheel is locked, light is off, and the park and brake doesn't matter because it just doesn't yet. Maybe someday in the future we'll actually have working wheels, but not yet. Alright, as we're coming around, I'm going to press and hold that force trim interrupted, and I'm going to start banking the aircraft on around. Looking for that 500 foot per minute rate of descent. And I'm just going to keep this nice continuous turn here because that's very convenient when you're flying night system. And I'm going to keep slowing the aircraft on back, working on slowing it back 1 knot at a time. Now picking up that decel just a little bit more, 500 foot per minute rate of descent. It's looking good. 70 knots, still a little fast, adjusting. Still fast, adjusting. Maintain the flight path vector position vertically with the collective. Maintain the flight path vector position left and right with the cyclic. There's 50 knots, 110 feet. We're looking fine. Alright, start bringing in the forward cyclic. A little more forward cyclic, a little bit more collective. There's the transverse flow shutter. And we'll stop this rig right here at 5 foot. We are into the wind. And then we'll just set the aircraft on down. There you go. VMC takeoff, VMC approach. Once the aircraft is fully stabilized on the ground, I trimmed the pedals a little off. Then I'll release the force trim, and the maneuver is truly terminated.